U.S. officials puzzled by lack of North Korean missile tests. U.S. defense and intelligence officials are growing increasingly puzzled why Kim Jong Un has not tested a ballistic missile in nearly 2 months. And for now, as President Donald Trump travels through Asia, it does not appear another missile test is imminent. Officials caution all of this could change at any time, and Kim could resume aggressive weapons testing, but that would also pose the question as to why he resumed. One of the biggest worries for the U.S. military is that the North Korean regime might live up to its threat of conducting an atmospheric nuclear test. Officials point out the regime has a track record of following through on its threats on weapons testing. At the moment, U.S. intelligence suggests North Korea's long-standing underground nuclear test site at Punggye-ri has been damaged by underground seismic activity and may be unusable in certain sections. If the regime turned to above-ground testing, officials say it raises the prospect of a test looking like a potential attack, especially if Kim conducts the test using a missile with a warhead. Approval is not mandatory for a self-defense shoot-down to protect the U.S. or its allies. If a North Korean launch is imminent or underway, top commanders in Asia and the Pacific, as well as the Pentagon and U.S. Strategic Command, would quickly gather for a secure meeting via video or phone to assess if there is a threat to the U.S. or allies and what, if any, action should be taken. North Korea has fired 22 missiles without active warheads during 15 tests since February. U.S. officials say North Korea is continuing to develop its missiles, rocket fuel and engines, as well as targeting and guidance systems. And the U.S. believes it also may be able to put a miniaturized warhead on a missile sometime in 2018, giving it the theoretical capability to launch a missile with a warhead atop that could attack the U.S. But what has happened since the last known missile test in September is curious. Several U.S. officials say their assessment is that Kim is feeling political pressure from China. With winter coming and reports of shortages of fuel supplies, one theory is Kim has not wanted to anger the Chinese leadership with a provocation, especially during Trump's visit to the region. However, Kim still may have achieved his essential goal, officials say. He has successfully tested all components of a long-range ballistic missile and conducted successful underground nuclear tests. He has demonstrated to Trump he is a nuclear state and Trump can't do much about it. One U.S. official said. The current U.S. military shows of force through bomber flights or maritime exercises are closely watched by Kim, officials believe, but they don't see them fundamentally causing a change in North Korea behavior yet. Amid rising tensions with North Korea, the issue of the U.S. president having sole authority to launch U.S. nuclear weapons has gained renewed attention in Congress. The Republican-led Senate Foreign Relations Committee is having its first hearing in more than 40 years on the issue on November 14. Some Democrats are pressing for changes, saying Congress should be consulted on any nuclear weapons launch, since it would take the country into a war.